The digital platforms are actually, in my opinion, addiction research facilities. They are producing digital drugs and really trying to capture attention and monetize that attention. They don't really care about your health. They don't really care about that it's actually driving depression, anxiety, and stuff like that. So maybe if I can get everybody to just stand up. The goal is to try to lift your leg up as long as possible. So maybe I just share my initial intention was for everybody to go up the next level, to do it, and then close your eyes. So the moment you close your eyes, you realize it's a lot harder, right? But that's the reality on the ground, where we go in with hypotheses, with experiments, with things we want to try and do. Then we realize that, hey, the ground is actually a little bit different from what we had planned. So that was a simple activity. The next one is about the fourth place. So Starbucks is commonly known as the third place, right? You have home, you have work, then you have your third place. What today's context, Pop Collect also shares is that there's neighborhoods, there's schools, and there's workplaces. But actually, Prof. Eugene also suggested there's one more frontier, and that is actually where the battleground is, which is the digital space. Why is because over the last 10 years, the time spent on devices has increased by 50%. And that is also because of natural evolution. Your work, more like WhatsApp now, you get work messages really, right? And leisure, everything is on devices. What that also means is that whatever good intentions we may have can easily be sidetracked by a push notification, habits and things like that. And the next point is actually about the culprit. So who is the culprit behind all of this? There are two lines here. The y-axis is spending or revenue in terms of billions. So the line, who can guess what the lines are? Any guess? The first line is about 400 plus billion a year. Second line is in increasing graph. Anyone? I heard TikTok. Yeah. Okay. So yes, for you to share with the people around you. So this is an example of community, right? We need someone to step up, to step forward, to raise the hand, to answer, to respond, and then the people around will also benefit in the process. So it's that's why I firmly believe community is a cure, because I think like what was mentioned in some of the previous sharing, that a lot of it is based on relationships and trust. And then once there's relationships, you want to keep healthy for the people around you, or you want to keep the people around you healthy because you care for them. So the top line actually is illicit drug spending. The second line is actually digital platform revenue. And why I compare these two is because the digital platforms are actually, in my opinion, addiction research facilities. They are producing digital drugs and really trying to capture attention and monetize that attention. They don't really care about your health. They don't really care about that it's actually driving depression, anxiety, and stuff like that. And a lot of digital platforms, as the social networks especially, the relationships are parasocial, meaning it's one way. So recently, Lady Gaga concert, right? She said during the concert, "I miss you guys." Does she really miss us? I mean, yeah. So the culprit actually is commerce. At the first line, we are competing with sleep, is actually said by the Netflix CEO. That sleep is the biggest competitor. That if he can make you watch one more episode of whatever, you're gonna sleep X minutes less. And that's why they designed the episodes to always end at a cliffhanger, then you want to watch the next one. Right? So billions, so because of the previous chart, there's a lot at stake in terms of money and revenue. So they also spend billions in R&D on addiction research. And because the battlefront is on the digital space, whatever good intentions we have can easily be sidetracked when you see this. So you're on commute, you want to go back, go gym, exercise, whatever, then you see, wow, got deal, got yummy dessert, got whatever, then suddenly your resolve starts to dissolve. Yeah, so it is true, right? That while we plan for interventions, while we plan for things to do to really help improve preventive care and community health. These are the real things that that are happening on the ground. 7% increase in severe depression, 20%. These are just some stats. Of course, it's not everybody, but it's representative that we all know social media tends to portray the perfect life syndrome. I got everything together. Just now, Charles showed the picture of HDB and all the issues and stuff, the anxiety, the isolation and everything. People are struggling with these things, but you can't address it in social media, traditional social media. So that's actually where Goodhood comes in, and community lah. So talk about community first. Right? Community actually is a cure because it first builds relationships, and then you have the peer influence, and then you create identity and belonging of what is acceptable culture for the community. And thank you Ming Fang for spearheading this in the Chong Pang area, and really and all of you who are volunteering on the ground, who are making a difference, who are giving back and contributing, because that helps to build the whole culture. And digitally, I think I mentioned that's where the battleground is, because that's when decisions are made, habits are formed, what you consume, the content you consume. So as much as we want to push down, propagate, say you need to exercise how often, but if your TikTok feed or whatever feed is telling you to do other things, then the proportion of content and brainwashing of consumerism or buying stuff or doing other stuff is skewed. Therefore, the digital space is where the battlefront is. But there's also digital also presents an opportunity in terms of reducing friction to awareness and action. So I'll touch on Goodhood. Yeah, this is just some trivia. Which one is not the right one? One of them is not really what Goodhood is about. Yeah, catching a kampung chicken. So these are no price. So reviving kampung spirit, fostering health, neighborliness, simplifying giving, like what Charles also mentioned. We want to democratize philanthropy or giving in terms of anything. Can be money, can be time, talent, treasure, ties, testimony. Digital platform is also good for testimony because people can then share like, oh, I was blessed by this person or this thing happened, right? So the digital space can scale culture a lot more than physical. But of course, the downside of digital is a lot less deep than a physical event and whatever the impact that physical can do lah. Key stats for Goodhood, we have about 100,000 community, about the size of a small GRC. 4 million of items donated, 20,000 citizens activated, meaning they've given something, they've contributed in some way or other. The 3 main use cases are decluttering. So if you have stuff that unused stuff that's in good condition, you want to give, you can give. The uniqueness that we have is we actually also verify the CHAS card, blue or orange CHAS. So if you're a blue or orange CHAS card holder, you have priority when you request for stuff. So not existingly, Carousel doesn't have that, and no platform has that because cannot make money lah. So really thanks to Charles for starting me on this journey. So he was the one actually processed the grant application of 5K. Subsequently, NCCI gave us some funding, so really thankful for back then was 𝗵𝗂𝗃𝗃𝗃 and DS Philip, who is now in MOH, who supported. Second one is mutual aid. So mutual aid is interesting that if we right now allow social workers to ask for stuff like washing machine, or my service user is a single mom, washing machine just broke down, does anybody have, or table or mattress or whatever. The next initiative, which I'm going to share in the next slide, will actually improve that whole process dramatically, exponentially. Community feed, which is basically a place to hold space for people who want to share lives lah. So that also allows seniors who, let's say, want to give back and contribute, give advice. Some of the more popular content that's happening on the community feed is people asking for advice, like looking for a job, I have trouble with my relationships and all. So that's when the senior there can be a matching of needs, and it reduces the friction in terms of being able to give back and get help. So the last slide, actually we're going to launch Belanja with NDP, National Day, and what it is actually a digital means to buy hot meals for those in need, hawker lah. So we're working with partnering up with hawkers to offer meals, and it's digitalizing the whole process. So last time you put a piece of paper, draw circle, circle, circle if you donate 10 meals, and then you draw X if you redeem. But the hawkers told us that this guy, every week he come, but I cannot ask him, are you in need or not? Because you're not so, it's honor-based, right? Then the other thing from donors is that I don't know whether the hawker just draw X themselves. Then I donate 10 meals, actually only 2 meals went to beneficiary. And then, so what we do differently is we use technology to verify SingPass, verify CHAS. And then we also work with community partners to say, if you give us the address of the people who, the service users, and they SingPass verify, they can just claim. So the claiming process is like PayNow. They don't need an app, it's a website. They reserve the meal. The kicker is when you reserve a meal, the donor's message is shown. So we allow donor to do a bit of publicity. And then when they go to the front of the queue in the hawker, they flash it. They flash the redemption screen. And then the hawker site the app will, they don't need the app to be open. The audio will just say 3 meals redeemed. So the whole process is frictionless, and the governance is very tight because it is tracked down who is the one who claimed which meal from which hawker. And then there's a quota system and everything. So this we are launching with NDP, and one of the things that we are doing is, ToteBot has a dollar for dollar matching. We're actually allowing any organization to put up, if you put more than 50K, you can have your own dollar to dollar matching. So the most keen organizations are insurance companies. So, like if there's an agency that wants to say I put up 50K, and they can set it not at dollar for dollar. They can say that I only want to match up to $50. So that if a donor say I want to put 10,000, then dollar for dollar, they're gonna absorb the 10,000 very easily. So if they say I cap it at $50, they will send to their client base, hey, we are doing good. Come belanja with us, we'll match up to $50. So it's a very community-led thing that we use tech and design to incentivize people to want to belanja. For the people in need, as long as someone, if they verify CHAS and SingPass themselves, they can claim a 1 meal a month or something like that. But if somebody spots them, let's say the constituency or the SSO, SSA spots them, then they can have more redemptions. So this is something that we're going to launch in mid-June. So I'm at the end of my slides. Thank you. Thank you very much. Thanks, everyone.